Cool, great, sick, dank, and cool. Hi everyone, Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd. It's time for another great albums video where I look at a bunch of albums that I very much positively reviewed over the past month or so. In fact, a little bit over a month this time, I would say. But either way, loved these albums, thought they were great, reviewed them positively, links to reviews down below, just mentioning them again here so they don't slip through the cracks on ya. Wouldn't want to see a slipping through the crack epidemic or anything like that. So yep, great albums for this month. They are as follows. Bam! Starting with the new Mitski LP, which the more I look at it, the more I realize this album really does have the worst font of 2023 on it. But regardless, The Land is Inhospitable and So Are We is a great record in my opinion. Mitski's best since she broke through. We have some standout lyrics on this thing, some songwriting that's really going to punch you right in the heart area. It's very forlorn. It's very much going to weigh down heavy on your feels. Loving the lush production and country twist on a lot of these tracks too. Some killer vocal performances as well. Sure, a few duds in the track list, but you know, I think again, really good, solid, mostly solid crop of tracks. Good Mitski album. Next, we have this new one from Tinashe. It's a little short, but it is narrative, it is conceptual, and it is some of the most catchy, very soft and very subtle and futuristic R&B I've heard in a minute. She has been on a real creative streak since she has been doing her thing independently, getting off that, you know, RCA Records track. The vocals are there, the songs are there, the production is there, and once again, you know, this whole like heartbreak situationship kind of angle to the songs that they move through from beginning to end is, you know, quite interesting. So I'm liking this a lot. I think Tinashe is getting better and better with each new release. Also digging on this new album from Sprain, The Lamb as Effigy. If you like your experimental rock, your post-rock, your noise rock, your heavy orchestrations, your manic and insane lead vocals, you're going to love on this record. You're going to play it over and over and over and over for the rest of the year, even if there are two 24-minute songs on it. This album is devastating. This album is staring deep into an endless abyss. It is dark in ways that I cannot put into words. I highly recommend it as long as you feel like you are mentally stable enough to handle it. Next, another record I think you need to be at a certain level of mental stability to really appreciate. That would be the new Olivia Rodrigo album, Gods. In short, pretty much everything that made her last full-length LP sour good improved on this one. The songwriting, the vocal performances, some of the pop punkier production to lyrics. Yeah, again, everything improved all around. Olivia Rodrigo really starting to dominate that #1 spot in the world of, you know, new, young, modern pop artists and being very much well-deserving of the position, as the emotional displays across this record are quite cutting. And even the production is more raw than that of like some over-the-hill pop punk acts that, you know, maybe were a lot better back in the day. So yes, loving this one as well. Once more, a link to the review down below. Also for the pop punk heads who maybe want something even a little more raw, that would be the new Jeff Rosenstock album, HELLMODE. This one rules. This one rocks. This one's awesome. Definitely one of Jeff Rosenstock's best LPs since going solo. Jeff is really and truly on his mental health shit with this album, being in a nice, stable, mentally, you know, careful, meaning filled with care. His mind is filled with care. Self-care. He's self-caring on this record and writing some damn good songs while doing it, with sometimes a jubilee, a whole-ass jubilee of instrumentation that is backed up, you know, with this throttling and raw pop-punk instrumentation. Vocals as good as they typically are on any Jeff Rosenstock album, but yeah, just great record. Great record all around. Jeff is still killing it. Super consistent guy. Next, following this, I want to shout out the new Bryan album, another #1 album in the country. What's up with all these great albums just going #1? Zach is totally killing it right now in the country field, writing some really rustic and heartfelt songs with some pretty good collabs and some production that, you know, has a slight indie tinge to it, but not too much. But yeah, with this record, Zach has quickly become one of my personal favorites in the contemporary country world, and I think, you know, he's got a bright future ahead of him as long as he sticks to his guns runs and stays true to himself and kind of continues to bring this more organic sound with good quality vocals and thoughtful songwriting. So, go Zach Bryan with this self-titled LP. All right, new one from Genesis Owusu, one of the best and most interesting and most conceptual artists out there from Australia at the moment. This new album, Struggler, is all about a personal struggle of sorts. It's almost Kafkaesque how he kind of frames himself as a roach struggling against the will of God. I won't spoil the concept further than that, but hey, the instrumentals and the vocal performances are killer in a great mix of rock and post-punk. His most consistent album yet, I would say, stylistically. The guy really knows where he's at. But yes, super creative guy. I think he's going to continue to kill it into the future, and I am excited to hear it and excited for you to hear this album. Check out the review again. All right, next we have this album from Amaarae, Water Baby. Really beautiful, delicate, gorgeous, pretty pop music, fusing together really everything from art pop to Afro beats. Amaarae is really doing it all on this record and bringing it with this very angelic, like almost inhuman alien high-pitched voice that is just so silky smooth. The sound of this album, in a word, otherworldly, and one of the most shimmery and mystical pop albums I've heard this year. Listen to it. Okay, one more thing I wanted to shout out, this project from Spirit of the Beehive, whose music we have covered before on the channel. What we have here is a new EP from them. If you've tried out their previous stuff, when it comes to indie rock and lo-fi and, underground pop music, their production is pretty melty and noisy and experimental. That is no less the case for this new EP, which is very surreal. This band continues to sound stranger than words can describe, and to hear what they're cooking up on this EP has me pretty excited to hear what they are going to be doing after all of this. So there we go. Great albums. Those are the projects I wanted to throw your way. Again, links to reviews and all that down below. Watch those reviews. Listen to these projects. I think they're sick. You should think they're sick too. You're the best. Hope you're doing well. Let me know in the comments what your favorite albums of the past month have been. And yeah, that's it. Over here next to my head is another video you could check out. Hit that up or the link to subscribe to the channel. Anthony Fantano, great albums forever.